Today we're tackling one of the most famously baffling plot points in all of Shakespeare's romances, the wager scene in Cymbeline. Now, modern audiences often tear their hair out asking, if Posthumus truly loves Imogen, why on earth would he agree to bet on her sexuality? So, to understand this, we have to look past modern realism and explore how Shakespeare takes a centuries old literary motif and uses it to expose the deep anxieties of fragile masculinity. Let's look at the text.
One of the things that people always say when they're dealing with Cymbeline is, what is with the wager thing, right? The wager is a scene, it's very kind of common. You have it in Don Quixote, you have it everywhere in Chaucer, in Western literature, and it's not something, and in Herodotus, someone says, like, people are comparing women, and someone says, you know what, I bet you I can seduce your wife. You think, like, that would never work nowadays, but for some reason it was a big, that's a motif found in a lot of Italian novellas. It's in the Decameron. But Posthumus is basically threatened by his wife's sexuality, and in some ways, is sort of takes on the challenge. So this is just something of the genre that one has to sort of say, okay, I'll take that as as a given. In other words, all I'm saying is that you can sort of like tear your hair out going, why would anyone take that wager? If you really love someone, don't wager. That's just a suspension of disbelief you have to make with a play like this. It's a genre, basically, right? In the same way that I'm sure in 100 years people will be tearing their hair out watching our current version of realism in Hollywood films, for whatever reason, in this fantastical genre that Shakespeare was sort of working within, the wager is just a motif. It's part of a plot development, Not to say that Shakespeare wasn't interrogating it and interested in the very idea of, men deciding women's fate, etc., or putting women to the test, but it's also a central motif in this type of literature.
As we can see throughout literary history from Herodotus onwards, a man wagering his wife's virtue is almost always the beginning of a foolish hubris that costs him everything. Shakespeare isn't just using a fairy tale plot device. He's showing us how quickly patriarchal pride curdles into self-destruction. What do you make of Posthumus's decision here? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next clip.